If you think that by taking one big action or by doing one big thing, you will become successful overnight, if that's the way you think, you're actually wrong. Because the big actions or the big leaps that you take don't define your success. The habits that you build every day and the small little things you do consistently are what define whether you will become successful or not. When we read success stories, when we read about people who get a certain height very quickly and all of those things, we feel that success is something overnight. Like yesterday that person wasn't famous, but today he is extremely famous. Something like that. We think that by doing things like that or that those kind of actions define that we become just an overnight success and everything happens in one go. But that's not the truth. Behind that one big overnight success that we see, there is a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, and a lot of work being done without getting any recognition at all. Those actions which happen at the back end are the ones which matter the most. A building, when we see that it's a finished, perfect building, it looks nice. But the main years in which it doesn't look nice, in which the construction site is not good at all, is when it's being made. There's dust all around, there are different things being worked upon, and it's not very usable at that time. It's not being recognized at that time. But as soon as it finishes building, as soon as it is ready and it opens up to people, the building starts to gain recognition. People see that the tallest tower in the world has been built and all of those things. It is the same with your success. For years, you may need to put in effort and you may need to do many things just so that you can build that proper construction. At that time, no one will recognize you. At that time, you will be a successful person. But by doing those things consistently, by laying brick by brick, you build a beautiful and tall building, and that is when everyone starts recognizing you. So, what you need to keep in mind is that success isn't something overnight. A big building can't be built in one night, it takes years and years. In the same way, your success will also take years. And the main part that you should be focused on is building the right habits, building the right actions that take you to your goal, and then everything like the money, the fame, the news coverage, whatever it is, it comes along with it. It's not the main part of it. So, let me just give you one simple example through this story of how the actions we do on an everyday basis define our success. There are two people. One is Marcus and the other is Joseph. Marcus works in New York City as an accountant in a stockbroking firm, while Joseph works in London as a real estate agent. Both of them wake up at 6:30 a.m. Joseph gets up, does exercise for an hour, then he eats his breakfast, gets ready for office and leaves at 8. But on the other hand, Marcus, he wakes up at 6:30, but he spends 30 minutes just toiling around in the bed and finally gets up feeling tired and sloppy right at the beginning. Then he slowly does everything, gets ready, and then in a rush he leaves thinking that he'll just grab a sandwich on the way to his office at 8 a.m., the exact same time that Joseph leaves as well. As Joseph drives to office, he's in a wonderful mood listening to his favorite songs and he goes by. On the other hand, Marcus, he's stuck in New York. He's trying to find the perfect sandwich place, but many times on many important days what happens is that the sandwich shop he eats from the nearest one is often closed. So then he has to go look around for new shops and that wastes a lot of his time. And at the same time, he is also listening to the radio and getting all the news, both positive and negative, about the world. That is what is surrounding him, and his environment, his mental state is of stress. He finally grabs a sandwich from some shop and eats it along the way while driving. Now, both New York and London are large cities, and in rush hour, traffic can be pretty horrible. Both of them get stuck. Both of them have to deal with traffic jams, but Joseph is calm and composed. He knows he'll reach his office on time. So at 9 a.m., he reaches his office, and at 9 a.m., Marcus also reaches his office. Joseph spends the first 30 minutes planning out his day and exactly all he wants to do, and from this moment on, their days become completely different. So, I'll first tell you what happens with Joseph. He makes a plan of exactly what he wants to do, and at 9:30 he goes for a site visit with one of his prospective clients. At around 10:45 he comes back and then he attends a 1 hour meeting with his boss. After that at 12 he starts closing final deals, and in about 1.5 hours he closes 4 deals. After that, he goes for lunch, and not just in any normal restaurant. He goes for lunch in a high class restaurant where many people who are looking to buy luxury properties hang out, and that's where he finds two more prospective clients. He talks to them, shares contact information, and shows them on a site visit, and along with that, also closes a deal with a client who lives nearby. By the time he comes back at 4, he then finalizes everything and then he reviews his day, and at 4:30 he grabs a cup of coffee and leaves. In this day, in the time that he spent 6 hours, he had his lunch, he had his meeting, and he also spent some time on site visits and closed good clients. That was a very productive day. But on the other hand, Marcus isn't doing too well. As soon as he gets to office, he hastily opens up his laptop and then starts working on a report that is pending from yesterday. After that, in just 30 minutes, he realizes that his co-worker is calling him for an urgent meeting that he completely forgot about. He leaves his report there. He goes and attends that meeting for 1.5 hours. 11:30, what happens is that he comes back, he grabs a cup of coffee and spends about 30 minutes scrolling through social media. And as he's about to get back to work at 12, his friends call him for a lunch break. He says, okay, I'll just go. And then he spends 2 hours with his friends on lunch, just chatting and gossiping about everything that's happening around. Then finally at 2 p.m. he comes back wearily and in a tired way to his work, and he is dreaded by seeing the amount of work that is left. He has to compile a huge report. He starts working on it, takes short breaks in between, then he keeps checking social media in between, and by the time he overworks till 7 p.m. in the evening and his report still isn't finished yet. Which person do you want to be? Do you want to be Joseph or Marcus? All of us want to be like Joseph, right? He is productive, he works for less time, and he also gets a lot more done. And that is what makes the difference. While both Joseph and Marcus seem to be great employees, Joseph has habits that help him succeed, that help him close more deals, and that help him get better clients, and all of those things which he does. And that is what makes him a great person. That is what makes him succeed in his particular area. But what Marcus does is that he is not very interested in that. He does not have specific habits that are going to help him succeed, and he does not take the right actions in the right way. And that is why his productivity plummets, his results plummet, and his success also plummets. You need to understand that to become successful, you need good habits. Because you can take one big action in one day, but if you don't sustain on it, it won't be of any use. On social media, you see some songs suddenly start trending, and some kind of memes or some other things start trending. But after some time, after a week or two, they are gone. Nobody cares about them. And if you think that by becoming an overnight success, by giving in efforts, without giving in efforts, you can become successful, you will just become another meme. That's the truth. So, what you need to remember is that good habits make you successful. Build good habits like Joseph does. He has the habit of waking up early and exercising. That's a great habit. Then he also has the habit of being calm. He does all of those things, and like he builds many different habits, and all of those habits then come together, all those actions come together and define his success. So, whatever field you are working in, find out what actions are the most important, what actions you need to take on a daily basis, and when you figure those actions out, implement them every day, and then you'll start seeing the good habits bringing a change in you, and the good habits will start making you successful. So, now you know that the most important thing for you to succeed is to build good habits. And I want you to write in the comment box that I am going to build good habits from today. Write that down. You should make that commitment publicly, because then you'll be even more accountable to it. And also do subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to give you value each and every day as I make these videos, and also they are going to help you remain positive, and watching these videos can be a very good habit. It will be a very good habit that if you inculcate in your life, will help you grow on all levels. So subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the videos, and you build a good habit of watching these positive videos every day. Also, do like this video because it helps me grow and it helps you grow too, and share this video with as many people as possible so that more and more people can understand how to build good habits and become successful as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.